Look at all the embarrassing noises out now. I mean, God is so good.
He's so good,
so gracious, and he gives us more than we could ever know or ask for.
Yeah. That's part of why I love my job, is I get to tell people about that every week.
Well, hey, Bruce.
Hey, Josh. It's good to see you, man. I miss you.
It's good to see you, too, man. It has been a hot minute. I've missed you, too.
It has. I think it's been since April or May, so 4 or 5 months is too long to see you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, although, man, I mean, we've been seeing each other off and on over the past 5-ish years now, probably 5.5 years at this point.
Yeah, I think we met at middle school camp at High Hill Christian Camp in mid-Missouri, summer of 2020.
Yes, the beginning of the bad times, TM.
Man, church camp is already chaos. Church camp in 2020 was an interesting animal.
Yeah.
But I met you, got along real well that week, then went back to community college.
Yeah.
And then in fall of 21, I arrived at St. Louis Christian and you were there.
Yes, sir.
So that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had already been there for quite some time. I got recruited to be their IT guy several years back, and I spent so much time around the professors and students, I couldn't really help but enroll and see what all the fuss is about.
Makes sense.
Pretty worth it. Right about at the end of my first year actually attending there, I ran into you at church camp, and you're saying, "Hey, I'm going to SLCC too."
Yeah.
I was like, what a small world.
In another year.
Yeah.
So I graduated high school in 2018, and I had A+ at the time. So I thought, hey, I'll go to St. Louis Community College first, try to get my associates before I go to... For 3 years, I always knew St. Louis Christian was where I was ending up after community college. The plague ended up hitting, and my grades were tanking, and I barely passed some classes, and I kind of kept that to myself because I was kind of embarrassed and not super proud of that.
Sure.
So my mom's watching this. Yes, I had a very low D in one class. You can't fuss at me for that now. It's past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, you already got the degree. It's fine.
But I didn't get that one. I jumped to SLCC because my GPA at community college was tanking. But I get to this school I've been looking forward to going to for 3, probably 4 years, because I knew I was going into ministry in my senior year of high school. And in September, so like a month in, hey, the school's closing at the end of the year. So,
yeah, that was fairly heavy news. There was that was just a month into the semester of fall 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife Casey and I had just gotten married, and then this was the Thursday before or after, I forget.
I think it was early September. That's all I remember. But it was like a month into the school year.
Yeah. So it would have been September 9th then that we announced, hey, St. Louis is merging with Central Christian College of the Bible. And I said, oh yeah, that college. I remember wanting to go there straight out of high school, except a really good community college scholarship happened for me too. And I spent 3 years figuring out what in the world I wanted to do there before finding out I really just should have gone to St. Louis right off the bat, because I had family really close there. And it's really weird how just life trajectories just coalesce at the strangest points, because you came right after you came after that camp, and I think we were still taking
I think I had one more year of community college then.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant, the year after that camp. And I'm pretty sure we were still taking photo IDs for student IDs. We were taking ID photos, one with a mask and one without a mask, in case.
Oh, I don't remember that. That's funny. That might, yeah.
Yeah, I think you had a Cardinals bandana or something.
Maybe. I think I had a Cardinals hat on at least. That's back when they were good enough that they didn't make me sad to follow them.
Yeah,
but
you did have Cardinals merch. You had a red hat, and I think you had the blue shirt.
I had been to a game like the night before, because the orientation was a Saturday morning. So that Friday night I was at the game. So,
man,
but yeah,
it feels like it was yesterday, but that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, a whole nother school's been in that location for a couple years now.
Yeah, Gateway Legacy Christian Academy
finally has their own highway sign.
Yeah,
there is a couple. Even when I was a student here for a couple years, I would be in St. Louis driving on the highway and see the SLCC sign. And I was in St. Louis last time, and I'm like, oh, that's different.
Yeah, it's like, who's gonna pay to change the sign?
Yeah, but it's funny because with a lot of things, my path to get here and path to where I am now, if I had mapped it out, it's happened nothing like what I would have planned. Oh, if I had my way in high school, I would have gone straight to SLCC. Yeah. I made a financially based decision, and I thought, okay, well, I'll get my associates here, and that didn't happen because I didn't have the attention span for online school at the time. If I was in a classroom, I had nothing to do but pay attention. If I have to do work from home, I don't. There's too many things I'd rather be doing. So I was missing a lot of assignments, not studying well enough. But then I end up at SLCC finally, and I didn't finish the degree, but good things came out of community college. I became a better student. I learned what college is like while I was doing it for free and paying less, so that when I was paying more, I was not wasting
getting
that.
More for your money because you're hitting the ground running.
But even with SLCC closing it, I look back and I'm thankful for it in a way, as heavy as that news was.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would have never got the experience I had here. I was commuting there. It was 10 minutes from where I was living with my parents. So
yeah, getting
to come here and be a part of this community and live on campus would have never happened if that school doesn't close, as hard as that news was.
Yeah. It's like you had from a really easy situation financially to a really easy situation proximity-wise to really stepping outside of your comfort zone, coming over here as a student during the merger. It's also just crazy in retrospect, like no matter how many decisions we make for ourselves, we're sort of always being blown through life like leaves in the wind. Yeah. But still leaves that are very much noticed and cared for by our Heavenly Father. Just seeing all the little things He's been orchestrating in retrospect over the years. It brings me a lot of comfort about future uncertainty. Yeah. We're like, well, God wasn't surprised or worried about this situation. He's definitely not surprised or worried about this situation either.
And I think part of the cool things is like you mentioned, how He looks after us and takes care of us. He does that through people too.
Oh yeah. And
I really noticed that here a lot through teachers and faculty, through you and Casey, who were my first dorm parents when I lived here. And you were one of my closest friends still, even though I don't live here anymore. Yeah. But I try to keep up with you via text a lot, but it's just, and I'm reminded also of my preaching professor here, the late Dr. Billy Strother, who from when I got called to ministry in 2017 until I got my current job back in September, I had youth ministry in my head. I thought that's where God was leading me. That's my focus. Yeah. I ended up getting a preaching job, and I realized Billy saw the potential in me to do preaching ministry before I ever saw it in myself. Man. So appreciative of him for the guidance I got from that. Yeah. I miss Billy, but it's just this, and that's why stuff like that is why I'm in a weird way thankful SLCC closed, because of the community here. And the experience of getting to live on campus and live in the dorms. That's not anything I ever would have gotten commuting from home. It was cheaper to commute, but it's just such a more beneficial experience what I had here.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. I didn't spend half as much time living on campus while I studied as I would have liked. But, man, being so close to everybody and, not having to drive to school or work was very, very much worth it. But just being able to do things spontaneously with people and being able to be there for people and having people that were right there that could be there for me, man, that was life changing.
Yeah, and I remember my first year here. Me and we have Thrive Worship every Thursday night here.
Yeah.
It started with me and two friends would go hang out in yours and Casey's apartment.
Well, and we played our own board game in the lobby of the building.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, and I love both of you so much. You guys just let us hang out in your apartment, play your Switch.
And obviously Cat sit for us.
Yeah, and the cat, I love Nico, and the fact that you just found him is amazing. But... hang out.
A couple other students found him. He found us.
Fair enough. But, little things like that are spontaneous. That one time, we'll hang out in their apartment and play video games after Thrive. Slowly became a weekly thing the three of us did. Yep. And that grew into, 10 or 15 people in your apartment every Thursday night that may or may not still be happening. I'm not here every week, but...
3 years later, we're still going strong. We have a couple new faces, a couple old faces.
Nice.
Matthew Scott came out of retirement just to wipe the floor with everybody in Boomerang Foo.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We even had I know you always like to main Rob. We occasionally just have when we're playing Smash Brothers, we just all play as Rob to see who's the best Rob in honor of the late graduate Bruce Heller.
Well, I'm not late. I'm still alive. But
yeah, we'll just be on time this time.
Yeah, just little things like that. How it can start with such a small thing and grow into what it is really cool.
Yeah, that just circles my mind back to the that whole semester after the merger was announced. I had so many. I've spent my whole life around the legacy of St. Louis Christian College. My parents both went there. My so many of my friends and so many people I knew came from there. So many people have come from St. Louis and gone all over the world, and they've impacted my life so profoundly. And now this institution's era is coming to an end, but when we put our identity in anything that's temporary, any institution, any even if it's a job or a relationship, we put our identity in those things, and that's building our house on the sand, because nothing on earth is going to last forever. So what do we do with that? Because I think to paraphrase the president of PBT, Greg Pruitt, there are only two things on this earth that are going to last forever, and that's God's word and human souls. Therefore, there's nothing more important than connecting human souls with God's word. And really, that was the mission of St. Louis Christian College. That is the mission of Central Christian College of the Bible. And so from a certain perspective, SLCC hasn't died in a way that matters, because
correct,
the mission to educate people, to to proclaim God's word is still alive and well. And man, so much as heartbreaking as the institutional closure was, the fruit that came out of that, from all of the relationships and from, many of the students and staff of SLCC being adopted into the central family. I mean, a lot of really good relationships came from that. A lot of really good traditions, like the post-Thrive Foundation hangouts. Man, it's I mean, even those things are, as awesome as they are, they're trivial compared to the sheer number of things that have been brought to fruition because of this merger of institutions under the flag or under the torch of the same king.
Yeah, and I think just because the school and the institution closed, the legacy is still alive. Mm-hmm. There's still all these graduates that are out in ministry bringing people to Christ, and even when the last former graduate passes away, there's still all these people that they've ministered to and brought to Christ, carrying that that'll never go away.
Yeah,
that'll
absolutely
keep chain reactioning into eternity, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope the same is true of Central, Ozark, all of our other sister institutions, and there's really one banner that we're all flying, and that is the banner of our Lord and Savior.
For sure.
Speaking of, tell me about how your ministry is going.
Yeah, so I graduated from here in summer of 2024, and January of 2024, started sending out applications, doing interviews. We're getting a lot of no's, which was a hard season, but a thing I kept telling myself through the 7 or 8 months of job searching it took is something that a friend and mentor of mine, and someone my friend Keenan, told me, is that growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. So people would ask me...
Well said, Keenan.
Yeah. So the job searching was hard. I'm a very positive, optimistic person. It takes a lot to get me discouraged. I got discouraged a few times through that process. Considered taking it just a full-time, secular, factory job or something a couple times, and my mom talked me out of it. But I ended up getting a preaching job in only non-youth job I applied for, by the way, in this little town called Ipava, Illinois, which is middle of nowhere. Literally, the way the church I'm at, it looks like the property for the church was just cut out from a cornfield. That's how I described it to my mom the first time I went there. And then I later learned that that's actually what happened. But I applied for the job. It wasn't youth, which is what I thought God was leading me, but it came with a parsonage that I could live in. I wouldn't have to find a place to live. And that's just been such a blessing. And again, growing. The first time I preached there, guest preacher, was Father's Day last year. So June of 2024, my sermon went 12 minutes. So I've been growing as I've been writing and preaching every week. Last Sunday, I think I went 34, 35. So getting better, just growing in my preaching, growing in relational ministry, and the people there take care of me. It's been going really well.
That's great.
The end of this month will be a year since I started preaching every week. Wow. Last Sunday, September 7th, we had our community service, which last year that community service was where they offered me my job that I accepted the next day. So I'm coming up. I have a few different one-year anniversaries in relation. I have when I accepted the job, when I started preaching every week.
Yeah.
Then I moved into the house in the middle of November because I had to find a moving date that worked with my parents' schedule, and I was commuting 2.5 hours each way every Sunday for a month and a half.
My goodness.
So I was very glad when the commuting was over. But
that is commitment.
To kind of answer all that backstory to say, ministry's going really well. I'm loving what I'm doing. I liked preaching before I got this job. I had only done it a couple times. It's just something I'm loving now more than ever. I'm doing a series through the book of Ruth right now. I have chapter 3 coming up. But just coming up with sermon series where God's leading me, writing that, and just being able to speak and minister his word to people is so much fun. Just shepherding this church, planning events, We did monthly Bible cookouts over the summer in the park where we'd grill up burgers and dogs and brats. I'd give a quick lesson and then just fellowship together. So it's going really well. I'm loving my job. I'm learning and growing a lot. So it's fantastic.
That's wonderful to hear, man.
Yeah. Still
Really?
always good to come back here, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you didn't come out here yourself, I'd just drag you back just so we
Yeah.
can hang out. And, I'm really grateful that your new church family is taking care of you, and that and that you're thriving in that space. I know. Being a preacher was not necessarily the vocation you were looking for, but
but I love it, and
yeah.
it's like I said earlier, the way God plans our life and the way it happens is very rarely the way we think it will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and in any case, who made your mouth?
Yeah.
Right. I'm really proud of you stepping into that probably a much stranger, more alien location than even Central was.
Central wasn't that big of a shift other than located. It was a little going from living in North County, St. Louis, Moberly, to the middle of nowhere where I had to drive half an hour to make my weekly Walmart trips.
Yeah.
It was an adjustment. I'm used to it now. I have a dog now that I got back in February, so
Excellent.
about 3 or 4 months after I moved in. But it was an adjustment. It's been a season of growing, and even the hardest season post-graduation, the job searching, I still grow. I learned a lot of patience through that.
Yeah.
I reached a point where people would ask me how it's going, and my answer would just be, well, I'm learning patience. And someone, I think it was someone in my mom's office, said, yeah, be careful asking for patience. I'm like, I didn't ask for it. God just decided I needed it, which I probably did, but...
It's a good life skill to have.
Yeah. But I learned and I grew through that. I just kept going back to that saying, growth isn't supposed to be comfortable, which is just really well said. I think I lean on that a lot, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is important that we not let ourselves become even like spiritual couch potatoes.
Yeah.
Pushing ourselves physically, mentally and spiritually, even pushing ourselves to grow in relationships takes initiative. It's a lot easier to just sit on the couch and do nothing. But a
couple weeks ago, I preached on Ruth chapter 1, and part of what I was saying is our faith is supposed to be active. It shouldn't just be passive, like what you're talking about, going out and being active and taking bold steps. Rather, God doesn't move a parked car. Is one thing, a line I used when I spoke at Thrive last
I
semester.
do remember that.
And just making sure we're moving, making sure we're preparing for Him to work in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah. Yeah, and really one thing I've found that helps a lot with patience is just the acknowledgement, and one is the acknowledgement of the fact that I don't know everything. I'm not looking at any of this from the bird's eye view, or really God's eye view of the situation. God's timing is what matters, and he's not rushed to move in this situation, and acknowledging that and really submitting my need for control to God has been a huge burden off of me. But I also feel like since I've started really not, for lack of better terms, not caring about the timeline in which things happen, it's just been a lot more peaceful, and I also feel like since then I've grown in appreciation for what what God is doing now that I'm not the one trying to do
Yeah, for sure.
all of the cool mystical spiritual work in my life.
Yeah. And letting go of that control can be hard, but it's once we finally learn to and just go where God leads us, it's so beneficial and so much better for us than trying to lead our own lives and trying to make decisions on where to go instead of just letting him guide us. It's God sees the bigger picture and we don't. I liken it and a couple times in my sermons too, like when you're a kid and a parent tells you no, you can't have that or don't do something and you can't see why. All you know is I want to do that thing and they're not letting me.
Yeah.
When you want a certain answer and God doesn't give it to you, he sees why even though we don't. It's like when the kid who was told not to touch the stove then goes and does it and his hand hurts and that's why. God has reasons for things even if we can't see it, even if we don't know when an answer to our prayers is coming or when a hard season is going to end. He sees the big picture.
Yeah.
He's always working for our good, and it's just learning to trust that is easier said than done for sure.
Yeah.
But it's very beneficial once we can.
Yeah, that does remind me of one of my favorite types of analogies that Jesus makes. The two from that type of analogy that stand out to me are when he says, "Hey, you guys are imperfect, and even you know how to take care of your kids. You know how to give good gifts to your kids. You have good discernment. As flawed as you are, you at least have the basic discernment of what is good and what is not good to give to your kids.
Yeah.
How much more does your Heavenly Father know what is good to give you or to not give you?"
That was part of the Sermon on the Mount. I preached on that a month or two ago, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, that's just such a good point. Sayings like that are like when Jesus says to, I think, the disciples, if I take care of the birds and the plants, how much more will I take care of you?
Yeah, if this, how much more this?
And
just
even
that basic pattern.
And like I said, that's easier than done. The disciples spent so much time personally around Jesus, soaking him in, soaking in his teachings. Yet when they're in a storm on the boat and he's below them asleep, they still freak out. So, like, to anyone watching this, you're not always going to be perfect. You're going to have times where you slip up with this. Don't let that discourage you either, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, but God does not change in his grace, in his mercy, in his providence.
Yeah.
And in
lucky
his
for us
action. He's actively shaping our lives every day. Even when we don't recognize it or see it. And I'm really glad that I can't see everything, because then I'd want to control everything, and that,
I don't want to see the big picture. I think because that teaches us to trust God and have faith even more. It's easier to have faith and trust when you can see what's happening. Not being able to see the big picture in the way that we as humans can't forces us to have to lean and depend on him and have faith in a way that's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one fruit that comes from that mindset is, even just when you're meeting somebody, meeting a stranger for the first time, just thinking, I wonder where this person and I are going to be in the next, 4 or 5 years, because, bird's eye view of just our relationship. We just got stuck together in a family group at High Hill Christian Camp one week, and we just start, rolling with it and working with each other. We swap numbers, stay in touch a little bit. Then we start studying at the same school. Oh, that school is merging here. Let's go here.
And then you became one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
I became living on campus together when I wasn't commuting every day.
Yeah. I became your dorm dad. We became co alumni.
Yeah.
you were one of the founders of the of one of my favorite weekly traditions of you just hanging out and chilling together after.
And sometime you're gonna come guest preach at my church.
Absolutely, it is going to happen.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not sure when. Probably not anytime soon, but it's gonna happen sometime.
Yeah, Baby Bettison might have a thing or two to say about short term.
Which is why I said not anytime soon. But I'm so excited for you guys on that, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I found out about that through one of the Thursday night hangouts last time I was in town at Central. So
yeah, it just happened
keeps living on.
That they were like, okay, well, when are we gonna? So we've told all our family. When are we gonna start telling our friends? We may as well tell this one of our inner circles of people who all get together at this time. Oh, Bruce is coming this week. Let's do it then.
Yes.
So everybody gather up for a photo. 1, 2, 3. We're pregnant.
One of my favorite ways I've ever experienced someone giving me that news, by the way. Just the whole room was just surprised, like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was looking back at the recording. It was like a straight 20 seconds before I think it registered with everyone.
Yeah, which makes it even better, honestly.
But no, I never would have anticipated sharing that kind of moment with you 4 years ago when, I wasn't even dating, let alone married, let alone expecting. And when you and I were really just trying to figure out how to wrangle all these middle schoolers.
Yeah, I know I said this before we started recording. I don't know if we have or not. Church camp is already chaos.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it every summer since 2019, so now I kind of know how to gauge that chaos.
Yeah.
My second summer doing it, Church Camp 2020, was elevated chaos.
Yes.
So, and I wouldn't change that experience for anything, but it's...
Yeah. I mean, the
rest of 2020 I would probably exchange if I could. But
I wouldn't mind forgetting about that year, even more than I already have. So many things changed, and the
rest of the year I can stand to forget, but that 1 week of 2020 can stay.
Yeah, I think it's really great to look back and see how much God was moving in spite of all of the chaos and anxiety.
It's just like you said. It's cool how God works through relationships that 5 years ago, you probably would have never thought I would be in that inner circle that you're sharing news that you and Casey are pregnant with.
Yeah, I would have just thought, hey, who's that weirdo?
And now, I imagine big moments in my life, like if I get married or anything, I can't imagine not having you around for those moments. Like, in my head, you're one of my groomsmen if I can get someone to marry me someday. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But once I'm there, I can't imagine not sharing big moments in my life with you now. It's just so cool how God works through those relationships.
I can't wait to share that moment with you, man.
Well, if I get there, that's proving to be kind of difficult, but God will get me there when it's time.
Yeah, again, God's not surprised or worried about what's going to happen.
It goes back to we want an answer on something, but God sees the big picture and has a better plan than what we want at the moment. That will work better for us long term. So he'll bring the right person when it's the right time, when I'm ready for that. So
yeah, I was certainly I don't know if blindsided is the word, but I definitely did not see all the things coming that culminated into my relationship with Casey.
Yeah.
That's a whole another 40-minute contemplative monologue in and of itself. But man, I mean, God is so good.
He's so good,
so gracious, and he gives us more than we could ever know or ask for.
Yeah. That's part of why I love my job, is I get to tell people about that every week.
Yeah.
And just yesterday and the day before started as the new leader with the FCA groups at the 2 high schools by my house. So now I'm kind of doing youth ministry in a way.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Fellowship of Christian Athletes every other week. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and that, again, completely new experience for me. I'm growing through that, but
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Just getting to tell people about God is such a fun job, and that's what that's my job. I get paid to do. Yeah. I've had jobs before, well, one job, that is, where I just reached a point where I got burnt out and wasn't enjoying it anymore. And we talk about God works in funny ways. I ended up, for a couple different reasons, getting let go from that job. Mm-hmm. Partially my fault, partially not, but that's not the point. Sure. I was telling someone, I've told my mom this, I honestly would thank them for firing me at this point, because I went back to Dairy Queen, which is where I worked at before that job, which was always a better fit, but I never would have left that job on my own. I just had in my head, like, to stay at one job for a while. I know so many people that just my age that bounce from job to job, and I didn't want to do that, but
I don't think I could handle that.
Getting let go ended up being such a good thing for me. At SLCC closing, as heavy as the news was, and probably heavier for everyone else, because that was my only year there. I had been a student there for a month, even though I'd been looking forward to it for 3 years. Yeah. Like, things that seem bad in the moment, God does really cool things with. Mm-hmm. And things that the enemy means for evil, means to discourage us, he turns them around for good in such cool ways. Like a school closing, like getting fired.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a curveball that you can throw God he won't see coming.
Yeah.
Man, well, I've been thinking all this time about when can I go and visit Bruce's church, because one, I want to meet all the people who have been taking such good care of you, but but also just I always can't wait till the next time we meet, though.
I know.
I'm grateful you're here for a decent portion of today through tomorrow, and
there's a bedroom in my basement that the former pastor at my church had kids, and one of him lived in there. I can just set that up as your bedroom, and you just commute.
Let's go
3 hours to work here and back every day, and you can just live in my basement. I think I've also promised that room to one of my parents, so I guess it's first dibs, but
I'm gonna give you a maybe.
But no, I really can't wait for you to come out and get to introduce you to people for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, have you meet my dog?
Oh, yes.
You're going to get jumped on and hugged by my dog the second you walk in the door, so be prepared for that.
Well, I sure hope so. Yeah, well, I also can't wait to introduce you to the to all the new faces at our post-Thrive
for sure
hang out tonight. Watch them get schooled by the OG Rob Maine.
Yeah, I love Maining Rob. The people I went to school with here, and some of them are gone now, did not love me Maining Rob as much as I did, because I'm annoying when I'm Rob. But there are.
I mean, all of my mains are because they're annoying.
Yeah, mine's because it's easy to use. I didn't have to do much to learn it. There's 3 moves.
Yeah, and everyone who's a projectile heavy fighter gets Uno reversed by that sadistic side B.
Spinny arms.
Yeah, but you'll have to teach.
Can't wait to meet
some of these freshmen a lesson.
New faces at game night. I can't wait to meet the new face in your family. That'll be here in a couple months. I'll have to make another trip back soon.
Yeah. Oh no, you have to come back.
Darn.
Yeah.
And that just the fact that I make a point to come back at least once a semester is such a testament to the community here.
Oh yeah.
And that they build that. When I was here, it felt like a second home, and it still feels like home when I come back.
That's really good.
And I feel like it probably always will at this point. So.
Yeah. Yeah, even when we visit our old homes, Casey and I still look forward to coming back home, and I don't know if we necessarily consider everyone in our dorm to be our kids, but maybe we're not the dorm parents, we're the dorm aunt and uncle.
Yeah, something like that.
Something a little bit more.
I think of you guys as some sort of family, however you want to phrase that.
I don't know,
You're definitely someone I go to for advice or
Yeah, you've been my
important
brother,
thoughts.
you've been my son, you've been my nephew. You're just all things to all people, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, want to go get ready for Thrive?
Sure.
Let's do it.